Previously on CON-umentary, I've been enjoying my first 5 days of Japan, checking out the various towns, looking at some stores with interesting wares, visiting some of the arcade places with nice games and a good number of old school ones that are still worth playing, visiting 3 places in Osaka, beginning with Universal Studios, followed by the Osaka Aquarium Kaiyukan, and finally enjoying the nightlife in Dotonbori, all while also chowing down on some delicious Japanese cuisine. And so we move on to part 2 of my Japan trip 2018. For a decade, I attend conventions for the thrills, the trends, the love for cosplay, and excitement of meeting new friends that share the same interests as I do. I consider indoor and outdoor events as well as vacation spots as conventions in of themselves, as I get involved in exploration, seeing the latest in collections, getting to know the community, and typing about my experiences, all while having fun doing it. These are my stories. I am MusashiX, and welcome to the MusashiX Chronicles CON-umentary. It's morning time in Dotonbori. Just got through checking out of Netmaru. And before I continue with the town, I decided to take a train all the way to the prefecture of Okayama, or in this case, the town of Mimasaka. Mimasaka is a town in the Okayama prefecture which, according to history, it is where the village of samurai, Miyamoto Musashi, is located during the 16th century. And given my love of history, especially the man himself, I knew I had to check it out, especially after seeing some documentaries on TV. And here I am, in the town of Mimasaka, in the prefecture of Okayama, and this is actually, where the village of Miyamoto was established back then, during the late Sengoku era. And it's actually, and actually, just by the looks of it, though, it's actually a really peaceful town. And yeah, there's the only train station in Japan, and most likely the world, that would be named after an actual person. In fact, a little trivia, the name Musashi in my cosplay name, MusashiX, is actually where I got it from. Well, aside from playing the Musashi video games, I also idolized the samurai, to be honest. After reading some history about him, he became such an interesting person that I know that given my likeness also for Mega Man X, that's when the name MusashiX is born. And here we are, Musashi Shiryokan. Basically, it's a hotel, well, motel I should say, but also a museum. Admission for the museum is about 500 yen, which is $5 US. Although relatively small, the Miyamoto Musashi Museum contains many interesting artifacts, ranging from his humble beginnings, to battles he participated on, to his path of a Ronin who has won many duels and come out undefeated in combat, especially with his famous duel with Kojiro Sasaki, to his recruitment by Ieyasu Tokugawa for the siege of Osaka, which ended the Sengoku era, to his final years as a retired hermit. This museum is not for everyone, but for history buffs, especially for those interested in Musashi, it was well worth it. But my exploration of the town was far from done. So we're actually going to be on my way to see the statue of Miyamoto Musashi, wherever it may be. Oh, I think I found it. In fact, before that, there's the dojo. Yeah, I believe it's closed right now. But yeah, this well, believe it or not, Miyamoto Musashi, he does have direct descendants, or well, not direct descendants in a traditional sense, but rather disciples of his fighting style as he grew old. And yeah, there's actually actual practitioners of his two-sword technique. Niten Ichiryu. And this right here is the dojo where the current successor, Yoshimochi, he's currently the successor of his two-sword technique, albeit not perfected yet. In fact, from what I actually researched, only Musashi himself not only founded his own fighting style, but also he's the only one who perfected his own fighting style. And here he is, right here. Yep, the man himself, Miyamoto Musashi. Ah, such a beautiful statue. So here I am now at the Shrine of Musashi. If I had to make a guess on this one, it is likely that that the Musashi Shrine was actually erected just about a few months right after word got out that of his passing in the Reigando cave in Kumamoto. Ooh, sure looks beautiful, doesn't it? Mimasaka is not really a busy town. In fact, it's a simple town with about a few housing areas, but very rich in history, since it has significance with Miyamoto Musashi. Also, not only is the land very fertile, but very peaceful as well, which got me thinking that maybe, just maybe, at some point in my life, I might just retire there myself, what with its extremely tranquil nature. After Okayama, I rode the train back to Dotonbori in Osaka to see a little bit more of the town while also getting some food like this Kobe beef set, for example, which this whole setup cost me just $45 and it's well worth consuming. Followed by me getting some sushi. After that, it's one more landmark in Osaka before heading back to the Airbnb. Zooming in now, all the way you can see Osaka Castle. Came here slightly later than I should, but I think I know how to manage my time, so I can get back to my Airbnb soon. Unfortunately, due to rules and regulations, I'm not allowed to take pictures or videos of some of the floors in the castle. Here's the outside of Osaka Castle itself. It may look big in the picture, but believe me, it is bigger if you see it personally, and I believe it cost me about $7 to get in. Some of the floors of the castle consist of battle armors and weapons, as well as videos explaining its history from its rise all the way to its fall at the end of the Sengoku era. The only floor we're allowed to film is the 5th floor, which is really high and you can see all of the castle fields and parts of the city. Osaka Castle is definitely a landmark worth visiting. My next visit is the town of Odaiba, where not only does it have a nice mall to check out, but outside of the mall stands a giant statue of a unicorn Gundam. Very mesmerizing to look at. And when you know it, next to the Gundam is a Gundam cafe and shop, filled with merchandises ranging from the very first show all the way to its current series. The inside of the mall is very busy and does have really nice stores. Its architecture is structurally sound as well, and hey, there's a Hello Kitty store for fans of the character. Hopefully I'll visit Odaiba again soon for all the other stores that I might have passed by. Next, I visited the town of Ikebukuro, another hotspot filled with many restaurants, especially those that I haven't seen or heard from in such a long time, such as Shakey's Pizza, as well as various department stores, including one mall that I'll be visiting later in this video. I decided to have some fun for now as Ikebukuro sports many arcades that I've never seen before, and they're very fun to play, many of these being touchscreen and motion sensor types. There's also horse race simulators, which is very popular in Japan. And I spent some time playing the center's crane machines, which is where I've actually won my Donald Duck doll pictured here. Took me about 8 tries, but I managed to win it. The last place I visited is the Sunshine City Mall, where the Pokemon Center is located, and fortunately for me, they allowed me to film and take pictures of the place, ranging from the various merchandises to these lifelike statues displayed around the store. This is one store fans of the series should take the time to check out if you're ever in Japan. Before heading back to Kamagawa, I'm having another round of pepper lunch. Did I tell you folks how much I love this restaurant? And here I am in the town of Roppongi. Roppongi being most famous for the nightlife, but I'm just going just for the day here in the morning. Oh, and what do we have here? Mascots. Yeah, you can see the words Roppongi well mentioned twice on this bridge. Roppongi is also the area where so many of media takes place. Like I know there's the TV Asahi building, which I don't know where it is yet. And you can see Yahoo Mobile. I know there's also a place called Roppongi Hills, which I'm planning to go soon. I think it's about 8 minutes away from where I'm currently filming. Well, thanks to the help of the police, yep, I'm zooming it in right now, and as you see there, yep, Roppongi Hills. The tallest building in this town. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go there right now and check it out. So we just climbed up the base floor of Roppongi Hills, and we're gonna be looking at this map right now. Basically, it's like a really tall mall, but it also has a club, cinema, a museum, an observatory, and yeah, TV Asahi is also in this area as well. However, from what I also researched, I think the Pokemon Company is also housed here. So yeah, let's go check it out. Wow, this building really is tall. Heaven knows how many feet that is. Oh, look at that spider structure. If you're ever in Roppongi, this is one to take a picture of. Welcome to Shinjuku. Another busy town, similar to that of Ikebukuro. Lots of places you can eat here. Speaking of which, I had to get some lunch first. I was only able to take a photo of the outside of the Square Enix building as they don't do any tours, but there is a Square Enix store outside of the building, which the merchandise is sold are self-explanatory, but it does have a unique, beautiful fountain. It was finally that time, as I'm at last visiting the myth, the legend, the holy grail for the nerds, the town of Akihabara. What else can you say about Akihabara? In just about every street corner, there are stores that sell modern consoles, many arcade centers, stores that sell various collectibles, and great to see the Ami Ami store, the online store that sells statues, also have a store in town. But the biggest selling point for me in Akihabara would be the various retro gaming stores scattered all over town, and I knew I had to visit many of them, and it was during this visit that my spending spree would truly begin. These stores have aisles containing games spanning many generations from the NES to all Sega products including the ill-fated Sega Saturn. Need I say more? If you're visiting Japan, have Akihabara in your bucket list, and take my advice, one day in Akihabara is not enough. Trust me. And here we go. Welcome to the town of Harajuku. Right in front of me is Takeshita Street. Wow. Holy cow, it's crowded. Well, Akihabara is about electronics. Right here in Harajuku, it's mostly a fashion style flea market. Well, a flea market for fashion, I should say. Oh yeah, and flea market style indeed. there's still a lot of people coming back and forth with no space in between. Yeah, and that's part of Harajuku. There's some t-shirts, really cool ones. Socks, Toy Story, Slam Dunk, Shinchan, and you can see some kimonos. Harajuku also has stores that sell high-quality cosplay, as well as shops that sell sweet, delicious crepes, and the town gets packed even at night. Definitely a town worth checking out for the fashion fanatic, and I do dig this restaurant, which sadly I forgot its name, as I was able to try out okonomiyaki for the first time. Okonomiyaki is more of a pancake-like dish made of batter, vegetables, and pork if requested. Very tasty, and I hope to have one again soon. For my 10th day in Japan, I visited this indoor amusement center called Joypolis. I'll let the following footages I've filmed speak for themselves. Afterwards, my next destination is the Tokyo Skytree to see a huge overview of Tokyo itself. The tower itself is about 634 meters high, but the highest area to observe is at 450 meters high. On a side note, there's also some Marvel Comics exhibit pieces inside this tower because during that year, Avengers Infinity War was still trending. Beyond that, upon reaching the 450 meter section, not only does it feel very high, but looking at all of Tokyo from a glance is just astounding. I'm glad I actually took the time to look at this wonderful view before my trip is over. Well, only one more place to visit before flying back. Konnichiwa! Oh yeah, everybody, here we go. My final day here in Japan, and I'm gonna end it with Tokyo Disneyland. It is Monday, July 2nd. And yeah, just like that, yeah, it's better to actually go to this place on a weekday. Yeah, I actually followed the advice of Yellow Productions, so yeah, coming in early and at around 10ish on a Monday is definitely a good idea. Yeah, I'm about to go inside, but I'm gonna take some photos first of this area here. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe how beautiful it is inside here. And hey, good thing there's a ceiling here. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be out in the heat that much. Because I was at Universal Studios and holy cow was it hot. Still a good experience, but really hot. Alas, I had to leave Kamagawa, take the train to Narita Airport, and wait for my flight back to the US. Already I'm getting the blues from this. Overall, I'm glad I was able to experience Japan firsthand in 2018 after so many stories I've heard from friends, but it's a whole different story when you're the one experiencing it personally. All the money I spent getting there, the delicious cuisine I've had, the swag I've collected, and all the places I went to, this visit was well worth the investment. I would then fly back to the US, but not immediately home. Oh goodness no, because up next in CON-umentary, I'll be talking about my second half of my 2018 vacation as I fly to Los Angeles, California for the nation's biggest anime convention, Anime Expo. I hope all you viewers like this video, and feel free to leave comments down below of your thoughts or if you'd like to ask more about my experiences of Japan. And also feel free to subscribe to my channel and other social media outlets for more content. Until then, this has been MusashiX, and I bid you all farewell, take care, and stay tuned.